welcome to the Multidimensional Creator. I'm Evangeline Hemrick, your host. Side effects of listening to this podcast may include becoming radically sovereign over your life and taking full responsibility, breathing deeper, moving in new ways that make you feel really good, doing energy work on yourself, your animals, your land, and the planet. Trusting your intuition, grounded clarity, and inspiration. So consult your intuition before proceeding further with the podcast.
So I've been talking a lot lately about intuitive development and refining our own clairs, which the word, well, it's actually like a prefix. Clair is a French prefix that just means to see clearly if you're saying clairvoyant, or to hear clearly if you're saying clairaudience. And so a lot of the podcasts lately have been devoted to developing these superpowers that are so unique just to you. That's my jam. That's what I'm all about. And another thing I've become super excited about is online learning and the age of information, the revolution of the age of Aquarius, where information is so readily available for anything you want to learn now. Have you noticed? Like, you can go on YouTube and it's free and you can teach yourself how to do, just about anything. That used to not be the case. Do you guys remember? Some of you probably remember when you had to get out like encyclopedias and you had to go to the library. And I'm still a huge fan of books. Books are my friend. But now, in this age of Aquarius, information and learning is so accessible. And I'm just a lifelong learner, so that really lights me up. And I realized, I was listening to my husband the other day. We were in the drive-thru to get coffee, and the barista was leaning out of the drive-thru, and she was like, "My horn just completely stopped working in my car. What do you think is going on with that?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, listen to him." He was like, "Well, it could be this, or this. And if you bring it in, I'll check this." And I was like, "Oh, he is so smart about things that I'm absolutely not interested in." And it's the same way with him, with intuitive development and with online learning. He doesn't care. And so I've realized not everybody wants to develop their intuitive superpowers. Not everybody wants to take online courses. But if you've been resistant to online learning, if you've been intimidated about online courses, or you've just been like, boring, that just sounds boring to me, I only want to take a class in person, or I don't want to take a class at all, I want you to lean in a little closer. Because if you're into the other things that I talk about, like the intuitive development piece that I was just speaking on, then this is going to be different than you think. The first online course I ever took was in 2015, and I didn't know a thing about online learning. I had never done anything on the internet, nothing. And this class was called Boundary Bootcamp, and I cannot tell you how it found its way into my email inbox, but I remember this one thing. There was a tiger or a lion in the imagery that came with the email that gave me this sign up link to Boundary Bootcamp. And I was leaving a very, very challenging relationship that had torn me apart. And I paid for that course not knowing at all how do I do this? And I still have people that are from the older generations go, what do you mean you teach online now? Like, how? Like, how do you have your students and how do they pay you? And it's just so funny to see everything changing so rapidly. But it came from a big, deep pain point that I was in when I was like, yes, can this person who I don't even know teach me how to have healthy boundaries? Yes, please. And I signed up for that class, not knowing at all what the experience was going to be like. And much to my delight, it was a wonderful experience. She told us in the initial email what we would need, and that we would need some headphones or earbuds to do the audio portions. And there were meditations, and she was just speaking into my ear. She was whispering to me, and I had gotten away. I went to stay with some friends in Florida as I tried to figure out what my life was going to be like now that I was going to have to recreate my entire life after I left this person. And I would lay in their guest room bed with my little headphones on. And I was like, okay, tell me some more supportive things. I need to hang out with someone right now who can support me through this breakup. And she did. She did. I had that private support that I needed in my own time. I really loved the audio lessons, which now here we are today, and I'm talking to you, and I can be a little angel on your shoulder. I can whisper in your ear anytime you want me to. And I felt accompanied, and it met me in some private moments when I really needed support. So that first online course, it wasn't just taking in information, it was companionship. That was the beginning of my revolution of online learning and the magic. So now I want you to zoom out with me a little bit and just explore the possibilities that are now available to you that were not available when I, as a massage therapist since 1995, I've been a total continuing ed junkie. I love to go take workshops, and I love to learn new healing techniques. And not only it's a good thing I love it, because we have to do so many continuing ed hours to maintain our license. But before, learning with the greats, like finding someone that I want to really develop my craft and master what they have already mastered, there was a big geographical limitation into studying with certain people before now. You had to travel. You had to take time away from your family and work. It was ultra expensive sometimes. So now, just take a deep breath with me. Just kind of expand your energy field, because you can do that with your posture, the way you're holding your body, the way you're breathing, your imagination. All of those things factor into allowing something to expand in your energy field. Take this in the most receptive, relaxed positioning that you can have, and open up through your breath. You can access any master, just about, of any technique or school of thought, philosophy, globally. The world is at your fingertips. You can learn at your own pace. You can revisit the classes. You can integrate immediately. Whereas before, like say you went to a retreat, and I still love all these things. Don't get me wrong. I still love to go on a retreat or lead a retreat. In-person things, this does not discount. It just opens up more possibilities when you can't go to Bali and take that retreat. Ooh, if you can learn that breathwork technique that's happening in Bali, because they're going to pipe you in online, well, how fortunate is that? That's not a downer. That's not a downside. Like, oh, but it's online. You get to choose your learning style, because typically in a good online course, you're going to have PDF handouts you can print out. You're going to have audio, which is what I love, obviously. And you're going to have video lecture. And you can go back and you can replay it again, where if you're in that live class, it's a one and done. Your brain is going to have to absorb what it can, take notes, ask questions, and then it's done. And then everybody goes home, and then you go back into your normal life and you try to integrate it as best you can. How many of you have ever felt this way after a retreat, or you support clients as they go through that, landing back into your own life after the retreat is over, and you're just like, oh man, I want to be back in the beauty of the setting with all the wonderful people supporting me and the delicious food that's prepared for me. Yeah, we all want that, right? And it's wonderful to treat ourselves to that when we can. But you can also make your learning space support you online. You can create an environment around you that is really pleasurable, that is engaging all the senses, and you can gift yourself an online learning retreat anytime you want to. We are living in the time when the greatest teachers of the world can walk into your living room. Do you get that? And you've got these educational tools that appeal to the auditory learners like me, the visual learners, the experiential learners, and the reflective learners. So this is really fun and this is really exciting because the first part of this, I wanted to talk about how much I love being a student of online learning, and I will continue to do that because y'all know, like I said about being the very best massage therapist or energy healer or coach or somatic practitioner or yoga teacher, how do you do that? You receive the work that you give to become great. So the only way that I can become the absolute best teacher online is to take online courses and to see what I really love, what I don't, what works for me, what was hard for me to understand or navigate in the platform that was used. And oh my goodness, have I used some platforms in the last 6 years. Whew. Yeah, it's been a big learning curve. But what we are doing, if you choose to become a teacher in the online space, we are creating our own world. I also want you to get really excited about that if you want to share your wisdom, your knowledge, the skill sets that you've acquired so far that are really valuable. The world needs it. You are creating your own world when you create an online container. These are intentional containers. They're not just passive ways of just spitting out information at someone, okay? Because you can get information. I mean, now with AI, you can teach yourself. And with YouTube, you can teach yourself a lot really, really fast. So that's not what people are paying for when they come to an online course. When I bought that Boundary Bootcamp, I'll be quite honest, that image of that lion, I can't even remember if it was a lion or a tiger. It was just some big, beautiful cat. The image drew me in, which is really interesting from a marketing appeal standpoint, all those things. Notice all the things that create a sensory experience for you. And what I was looking for, I got through her transmissions of vocal support. So when you come into a course, if you are just in the mode of receiving that information, notice the experience that is created for you. If you're observing it from, I want to teach classes or I'm already teaching online courses, notice how you want to appeal to all their senses and create an experience. I am very pleasantly surprised that transformation and intimate connection happens in digital spaces. I did not know that before I began teaching my own courses. It was intimidating. It was scary. I knew that I had to find a way to build community while we were all shut in at home in 2020. And I wanted to scale. I wanted to take my work globally. And I was like, well, this is the way to do it. You don't just write a book. I wish I could have just written that book while I was off the internet completely and just been like, okay, it's out there. And maybe it would have worked, that people would have been helped by it eventually, maybe long after I was long dead and gone, you know. But the reason that I went back on social media after I wrote the book was I was like, well, I guess since I wrote the book and I want people to buy it, I have to tell people about it. Ew. How many of you can relate to that feeling? But people really think that online learning is impersonal if they haven't done it, or they may have all kinds of blockages. But I'm going to tell you right now, I experience profound emotional releases myself and with my students, physical sensations, energetic shifts, deep lifetime lasting connections that happen with the people who are drawn into that online container. In what can seem like a simple online course, these things go on, and I have experienced this firsthand now. So the evolution of my courses has been, it's been wild. It's been such a wild ride, and I want to be able to help you in the building of your educational offerings and not have to feel so alone and not have to feel so, I'm just trying things to see what works. I started, the very first online course that I offered myself was an introduction to shamanism course. And to me, it was introductory because shamanism is my spiritual path. So this is the love of my life. So I was really distilling it down to make, there's like, I think 7 or 8 modules. And to me, I was like, this is light. This is just introductory. And I didn't know how to charge for that or whatever. But the first group I had 8 beautiful souls that signed up for my first online course that I ever offered. And I offered it on Instagram. And so 8 people were like, yes, sign me up. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And we went deep and I just fell in love with all of them so deeply. The ones that I was just getting to know and then the ones that I already knew, I loved even more. But the feedback I got from that course was they were like, this is overwhelming. This is an overwhelming amount of information. And I was like, really? Because I just want to throw the kitchen sink at you. I want to give you like it all. And this is one thing with my particular type in human design that I have realized I do with the best of intentions. I'm just like, here's this and here's this. Oh, and here's this. And you're going to love this because I'm such an avid learner that I just want to give everybody the moon. If I'm excited about it, whether it's human design or shamanism or qigong or somatic integration through dance, it doesn't matter what I'm teaching. I'm just like throwing it all at you. And there's a select few people who learn that way and who are like, yeah, give me more. I got you. Yeah. And then most people are going, I can't even get through this information. It's so much because I didn't know yet how to give it in amounts that were digestible. I had to learn. So this is what my 2-year mentorship with the fountain taught me. I realized there is no end to what all I can and want to teach the people who want to study with me. I thought to myself when I began the fountain mentorship, this is just to take people through to 2027 to this big, huge change that we're all going to go to that will culminate in the year 2030 when New Earth really is in full effect. And I thought, okay, in this container, I'm going to give them all I've got, everything that I have learned so far. And it was quite overwhelming. They did love the support, but I have to dial it back down even more as to how I give this knowledge and this information that has been my life's work to study. So the mentorship really showed me how my curriculum itself continues to expand and that online education, this is what's so exciting to me. It's a living library. It's my living library and it don't stop. And I had those brave souls who believed in me enough to go, okay, I'll come along this ride with you in the fountain. And I love you all so much. When you are listening to this, I want you to know you shaped my future offerings and you helped me create this right alongside me. You were doing it with me as we went. I am so grateful for my students in the fountain who learned with me while I was learning how to teach in that way and learning how much to give, actually. And so this is where I'm really excited to create more structure for my own learning pathways and what I have to offer the world. It's been a 6-year process. And that's the other thing that I wanted to tell you all. It is not going to be fast for you to share the wealth of knowledge and experience you have in your arena, in your area of expertise. Don't give up. Don't give up. It's worth it. So here we are at layer 1 of my offerings online. It's free. It's immersive. It's you spending time with me like we're sitting down for a cup of tea together. It's small, digestible pieces of wisdom. It's accessible to everyone, anywhere, anytime you can be with me. It's inspiration and it's a transmission through my throat chakra. My voice is the essence of my soul. So I'm giving you the essence of my soul through my fifth dimensional creation portal, my throat, coming up from my heart and my womb, all the portals. So that's layer 1 that we are enjoying together right now. And then we have layer 2 that I created a Patreon community many, many years ago, and it just wasn't time for it yet. And you'll do that. You'll create things. You'll kind of need to go away and do some other things. You'll come back. You'll revisit it. It'll make more sense later. A lot of your creative projects are going to make more and more sense to you, and they're going to gel more as we approach 2030. So just know that. So the Patreon will be my deeper, behind the scenes, extended conversations, insider transmissions for those who want to go deep, who want to explore some really wild rabbit holes of learning with me that are complex. The topics will be exploratory and evolving, and there will be a lot of bonus, especially audio, but also a lot of the video that I curated during the fountain. I went live a crazy amount of times. I can't pull it up right now, but hundreds and hundreds of times I went live from September of 2024 through December of 2025 when we completed the fountain. I will be weaving together all of those teachings that I created in the Patreon community. The other thing that the fountain members assisted me in creating is layer number 3, online courses that have already been produced. So the live filming has already been done, and there's structured, self-paced education. There's lifetime access for deeper embodiment. And the courses are built from those real student experiences that were gold for me to actually have students with me lots of the times as I'm filming, to be able to bring you into a container that was so sweet, so sacred and precious, and you can be with us anytime you want to be with that magic. You can turn it on. And that's one thing that I've noticed. So a couple things that I've learned the hard way that I wanted to share with you all about teaching online. One of them is some of them would sign up for the fountain and then they would feel pressured, like they would feel bad if they couldn't come live. And I was like, no. And no matter how many times I said, it's not like that. This has to sustain. It has to fit into your life. That's why I've worked so hard to make it sustainable for someone who's out there helping the world and out there living by example and being of service. Well, how on earth can I support that person if they have to be on my schedule? That's irrational, So I was only doing the live educational part on Zoom. I was only doing it early in the morning because that's when I could do it. That's also when I'm the most sparkly and when I've got the most juice for my day. So definitely, if you're going to teach online, do those live classes at a time that works for you. Now, I will do an evening, just about every quarter, I'll do an evening live for my community on a topic that they are requesting that I teach on. And I'm going to be honest, they don't get the freshest version of me if I do like a 6 p.m. transmission. But for those who really want to come live and be part of a community and they work all day, it's an accommodation I'm willing to do once a quarter. And I just really take good care of myself that day and prepare. But that is available. So those online courses that are already up and ready for you are like on distance healing. If you want to learn distance techniques, man, we had so much fun in the live filming of that one. It was a fundraiser for Hurricane Helene survivors. Oh man, the amount of love and excitement and shared intention in that live transmission, and you will feel it. You will feel it anytime you want to watch Remote Healing Parts 1 and 2. That one is available. There's also a dream course that was a dream come true to film live. We had such a group for that one. There's a crystal healing course, and these are all little bites They're like between 2 to 4 hours. So it's no huge commitment. We don't have to get married or anything like that. You can just be with me whenever you want. So that's layer 3 of my educational offerings now that they have all gelled and they're all clear. And then the creme de la creme, the top of the cake, layer 4 is the 1-1 mentorship packages. One-on-one personalized support on Zoom, tailored guidance specifically for you and your unique energy recipe to help you reach your specific goals, because some people want the most direct path. So that is how I am reframing my online education offerings. And so some of the common concerns that I hear a lot is, I'm not tech savvy. Well, honey, you're talking to the least likely tech person in the whole wide world. And I've said this a lot of different ways at a lot of different times, but I would so much rather be hugging a tree or walking through the woods. But you know what? It's the age of Aquarius, and it's time for us to rethink and reestablish how we help this world. So let's go. Let's just do it. I never finish an online course. That's another one that I hear a lot. Online learning is boring, or I don't have time. So I invite you into a reframe of online learning is magic, and it can fit into your life, whatever your life looks like. You can learn in rhythm with your own nervous system. You can listen to me while you walk, just like with these podcasts. You don't have to sit down and let me sit down and take notes. I know some of you are like that, and that's how you learn, and that's fine. But I just put on a podcast and go walk Kona, or I get something done outside that I want to do, or inside. I fold some laundry, whatever. Learn in small segments. Revisit the teachings of the master teacher repeatedly so that they imprint into your reality and they become a part of you, and create your own learning environment. Create a sacred space for yourself. So if you've never taken an online course before, I invite you to explore one that calls to you. Follow the thread of curiosity. Online learning changes lives. I know, because it changed mine.
Thank you for spending time with me today. If this episode supported you, come connect with me on Instagram at Evangeline Hemrick. You can find my website, evangelinehemrick.com. And we also have a supportive community for multidimensional creators like you on Facebook. To go deeper with me in one-on-one work, you can book a private session with me on my website. Until next time, stay embodied, stay sovereign, and keep listening to your intuition.